Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today, I just did an engine flush on this Kia a while ago. So if I'm wearing the same clothes, it's not that I wear the same clothes every day. It's just that we just finished a video on that Kia. And while we was out here, we was going to show you what we had to do. I got a 2006 Dodge Charger Daytona RT that we just bought maybe a couple of weeks ago. And the guy I bought it from, he knew enough about cars to keep the oil change, and that's about all you can say. And we had to put new motor mounts on it, both the left and right, and the transmission mount. I'm going to show you what condition the motor mounts was in. Now this was the motor mount from the driver's side, and if you don't know, these mounts are hydraulic mounts. In other words, there should be a fluid inside of there. And you see how this mount is just tore up, and that's from the torque of the engine. When you hit the gas on that thing, the engine wants to raise up on the driver's side, so it puts a lot of come back around here and see. It puts a lot of pull on this engine mount, because the engine mount is anchored to your frame here and bolted to the bottom of the engine there. So when that engine torques up, man, it puts a lot of pressure on it, and you see this mount is just wasted. So we replaced that one. Then we went to the passenger side, and surprisingly enough, the passenger side was worse than the driver's side. And I mean, that thing is it was toast. So, but the transmission mount looked pretty good, but we went ahead and changed it anyway, because when I ordered these and got the both mounts and the transmission mount all in one package. So I want to show you what we had to do. And let me tell you, technically it's not a hard job, but physically it's time consuming. You have to take your time with this. Make sure you got your car up on ramps. Make sure you got chock behind the wheels. You got the emergency brake pulled. And if you want to look at our setup here, the way we have the car down, just look right here. Look right down through here, CJ, and you see that we got some good quality ramps, and we got wheel chocks here. Both of the rear wheels are chocked. Emergency brakes pulled. Of course, the car's in park. And I'm going to take all those extra steps, because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. And what we did, and CJ, we're going to have to just pause it for a second. Pause it for a second.
All right, we're going.
All right, guys, we're under here, and we're looking at the engine mount, which is right there. And I'll put my screwdriver here on the other side, so I'm moving my screwdriver. If you can see it right there. Now, there's some 18mm bolts right here. There's one, and there's another one over here on this side right here. And it's got some torque bolts right here. Okay? And now the first thing we had to do, I just went ahead and loosened these up. Did not take them off. Loosened these up here. Right? And you had some 15mm bolts that's way up here. I don't know, can you see my hand?
I can see the bottom part of your hand.
You see the bottom part of my hand?
Yeah. It's
way up there over the top. And you're working blind here. They're 15mm bolts. And can you see with the screwdriver? It's way up on the top part of this engine mount. And they're 15mm bolts that goes into the side of the block. And I went ahead and I broke them loose, but did not take anything out, okay? And just got them loosened up, got them ready to work. The next thing you want to do is, can you see over here? You want to get you a 2x6 and a good floor jack. And put your 2x6 on your floor jack and bring it up here to your oil pan right here. And I didn't allow that board to get right here where your drain plug is, so I just put it on this side right here, and brought it up and supported the engine, and then loosened this up. I went ahead and took these bolts out. Took the nuts off first. They're 15 or 18 millimeters, and then went ahead and started backing these torque bolts out. And as I backed them out, it gave me a little bit to jack up the engine a little bit more. Get these bolts out right here, and you can jack this engine up a pretty good bit right here. And then started working on these bolts at the top of your motor mount. Now, there's 2 of them up there, and then once we got them worked out, we was able to maneuver the motor mount and bring it out this way, right here on this side. And of course, the exact opposite, when we put the new motor mount in, went right back up this side right here, and started working with getting our 2 top bolts up top in first, and then working with this. And it took all now probably a couple hours to get that one out, just because you're working in such confined space right here. And but that's the easier one. So CJ, if you'll pause that, we're going to swap, and you can. Okay guys, now we are on the passenger side, and this is the motor mount right here on the passenger side. And you'll see that this motor mount has a heat shield on it. Let me see if I can find a better angle on it. It's kind of hard to get an angle on it, but there's the heat shield right there. And just over the top is 2 bolts that holds this heat shield on. I think they were 10 millimeters. I'm not quite sure on that. But once you take the heat shield off, you have the same setup as the driver's side. You've got 2 15 millimeter bolts that's got the motor mount bolted to the block, the engine block. Right down here, you got an 18 millimeter bolt here with it'll take I can't remember, it'll take a star socket or a torque socket to get this bolt right here. And then on the back side here, you have the same thing, an 18 millimeter nut with the torque bolt right here. And once you get the nuts taken off, of course, you know, you're going to have your engine supported with a good floor jack. Once you get the nuts taken off right here, you can go ahead and take these bolts completely out, and those bolts bolt into the bottom, this bottom piece right here. Okay. Now, once that's done, you use your 15 millimeter socket and go up there and take those 2 top 15 millimeter bolts out. But here's the problem. When you get ready to take this out, you're going to have to take your oil filter off. That was the only way that we could get it off, was to come right through here, taking this oil filter off. And there was also, where did it go? Yeah, that oil filter, and there's this bracket right here that's right, it's kind of hard to see it, but this bracket that is right up in here, let me see, see if I can point it out, that black bracket right there, that bolts on, bolts onto your alternator here, and bolts on it, that bracket has to come out. And your oil filter, the oil filter had to come out, and we had to bring the motor mount out this way. Now, if there's a different way to do it, somebody leave me a message and let me know, because that's the only way we found that we could do it. And as you can see, you got a very, very little room to work with under here. And so, you know, if you're not patient, you know, it's going to take, this right here is going to get on your nerves, really, because you don't have a whole lot of room to work with. But getting the motor mount loose and everything, and then bringing it out right here below your oil filter here, you'll have to take the oil filter out. You have to take that black bracket out up there and dropping it out this way, and then putting your new one up back in up that way. That's the way that was the only way we found to get that thing out. You'll have some more room, you know, as you jack your engine up and give it some support. But the biggest thing is make sure you have a good jack, a good floor jack when you do this, because your hands is going to be all up under this engine right here. And if that floor jack gives way, your hands are gone. I'll get out here and show you the other motor mounts. So the old motor mounts again, so you'll be able to look and see where the bolts are.
Camera action.
Okay, guys, this is the passenger side motor mount where we was just at. This is the old one we took off. If you can picture it, it's going to be sitting bolted to your frame right here, bolted to the bottom of the block right here, and this is going to be to the outside of the vehicle. As you're working, you'll see you're looking for the two 15-millimeter bolts that bolt in right here. Mm-hmm. So you're having to work kind of blind there when you do this. So that's why I say take your time. It took a deep well socket for us to work these things off, and then once we got them broke loose, I used my arrow ratchet. Well, I couldn't use my arrow ratchet. I tried to and got myself into a pickle with it, but one of these ratchets like this will help you tremendously. If you don't have one that has an extending handle on this, you can still use a regular ratchet. Just get you a little small piece of pipe or something that you can slide on the handle, so you'll have some leverage to break those bolts loose. But this right here was absolutely helpful to us. Again, this is not a technically hard job. Anybody that's done any work on vehicles can do this, but it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of patience, just because you just don't have a whole lot of room to work with. But it's well worth doing it, because if you let these engine mounts go and you know you're out there horsing around with the car and you know hitting the gas, it puts a lot of strain on your transmission mount, and can actually do damage to the inside of your transmission. So guys, anybody that has any questions, you know, leave it in the comments. I'll check it out as soon as I can. And don't forget to hit that like button if this video's helped you out. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell so you'll get a notification every time I load a new video. This is our second video today, and I think I've got another one that I've got to upload that we did a few days ago. But hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell button. Appreciate y'all looking at the video. Thanks a lot. Hope this helps you out. Bye.